Meetings is called to order at 9:32 a.m. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Pledge of Allegiance. Trustee Stefan, would you kindly lead us in the pledge?
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I know it's a little odd right now, and I will explain shortly. Dr. Neary, will you do roll call?
Yes. Student Trustee Delgado.
Here.
Trustee Sanchez Fulton.
Present.
Trustee Yant.
Present.
Trustee Stefan.
Present.
Trustee Broughton.
Present.
And Trustee Wilson.
Here.
Roll call complete.
Thank you. You'll notice we have Dr. Neary here today. Our President Kinnaman is out of town and taking care of some very important family matters. So our Vice President of Student Success has joined me today in helping to manage today's meeting. So thank you for your patience. Also, I see we have a couple of our administrators out today as well. And John is here to fill in for Vice President Howell. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll try not to bite you too hard. We'll move on to item 2 of the agenda. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.2B2, the board may take action on items of business not appearing on the posted agenda upon a determination by a 2/3 vote of the board, or if less than 2/3 of the members are present, a unanimous vote of those present, that there is a need to take immediate action and that the need for action came to the attention of the local agency subsequent to the agenda being posted as specified. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions to the agenda of August 18, 2017? Dr. Neary.
None at this time.
Okay. The agenda then stands confirmed as presented. The board will now recess to close session from 9:34 to about 10:15, and we will reconvene to open session at 10:30 a.m. Thank you. Okay, you ready? Okay, thumbs up. We have returned from our recess, and there was no reportable action taken in closed session. We now return to our agenda, and let's see, we are now on item 5, public updates. Dr. Neary?
I don't have any public updates at this time.
Okay, no public updates. Let's see, we have a reading of a proclamation.
Yes.
Okay,
So I would like to introduce the student that will be reading the proclamation for National Hispanic Heritage Month. His name is Ezekiel Nunes. Please join us.
good morning.
Good morning. And Ezekiel was kind enough to share his story with us. So as part of his introduction and prior to the reading of the proclamation, I'll go ahead and share his story. Ezekiel was raised in a little village in Mexico, working in the fields and taking care of his family's animals. Also, his family was not one of the richest, and usually he had to work with his grandparents. Most of what he has is a product of hard work and his commitment and the help that he received from his family. Often, he said, I had to work harder than most of the people would assume I do. However, I would always strive for a better future for myself and my family. During his elementary school years, he was not the most brilliant boy. People would often say that he had mental disabilities. However, his parents did not listen to what people said, so they ended up putting him in one of the best schools in town, a Catholic school. Despite what people said, from his words, I was the second best student of my generation. I spent half of my high school in Mexico and the other half in the United States. In Mexico, he went to a competition of biology where he finished 7th out of the whole state of Jalisco. In the States, counselors saw something in him, and they nominated him to represent La Quinta High School in a board meeting. Finishing high school, he knew that he needed money to go to college. So one of his friends gave him a job in Thermal, California, cutting bell peppers. Oh boy, he said, it was arduous work. He ended up succumbing to his bed at the end of the day just to realize that the next day would be the same. As a result, he said, I now have the motivation to keep up with college. I want to demonstrate that a Mexican guy can achieve something. Furthermore, I want people to be aware that we should not be stuck doing something we do not like. Also, he wants to make this world a better place for everyone, a place in where everyone has the same opportunities and values. Then he ended up here at College of the Desert, and he was sure that his climb would continue up the ladder and continue into a career. He would commit himself to his classes and the life of a college student. And here he ended up enrolling in a club called Alas con Futuro. He needed a place where he would feel comfortable with who he was and what he was. Alas gave him the opportunity to meet people he can relate to and a tool to reach people and show them that everything is possible despite what your situation is. And he'd also like to share he's happily a declared biology major, senator of student government, and the vice president of Alas con Futuro Club, which is our AB 540 Dreamers Club.
Can I? Well done, sir.
I will apologize in advance. I have like a really strong accent, so if you don't understand what I say, just sorry about it. Whereas Americans of Hispanic heritage have sophisticated ancestry which dates back hundreds of years, exploring and settling our country before wars and independence, whereas they brought with them a deep commitment to family and community, a strong work ethic, and an unwavering belief on the American dream, and whereas in a nation that derives so much strength from cultures, races, Hispanic Americans are a driving force in our society and a vital part of our economy, and whereas we recognize the success of our nation is closely tied to the success of citizens of Hispanic heritage, who are large and increasing segment of our population. Now, therefore, it is proclaimed that the Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, and students take this opportunity to honor Hispanics on their many valuable contributions to this great land. And be it further proclaimed that the Board of Trustees of the Desert Community College District are pleased to recognize September 15 through October 15 as National Hispanic Heritage Month. Again, I apologize. I only been here like in the States for like about 3.5 years, so my English is just a little bit broken. So
You're doing a great job. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, sir, you're done.
sorry.
Thank you, Dr. Neary. We now move on to public comments. Persons who wish to speak to the board on any item may do so at this time. There is a time limit of 3 minutes per person and 15 minutes per topic unless further time is granted by the board. Your comments will be timed and you will be asked to stop speaking when the timer sounds. Please understand that the board welcomes your comments, but we are not able to wholly respond to those comments. Julia, do we have any public requests? Okay. All right. We move on to agenda item number 7, introduction of staff. Dr. Neary?
Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce Efren Rodriguez, Public Safety Officer. So Efren was born and raised in the Coachella Valley and a COD graduate from the Public Safety Academy. He worked in the hospitality industry for 10 years and was an on-call public safety officer at College of the Desert for the last 3 years. Efren enjoys working on all of the COD campuses, but looks forward to being primarily at the Mecca Thermal campus. Welcome, Efren.
Welcome.
Next, I would like to welcome Brenda Velez. Public Safety Officer. Please join us. Brenda is a College of the Desert graduate with two associate's degrees in Administration of Justice and Police Science. In addition, she completed Module 2 and 3 Basic Peace Officer Training from the Public Safety Academy. Brenda's ultimate goal is to be a police officer and to make a difference in people's lives. Welcome.
Welcome.
Next, I'd like to welcome Ricardo Vasquez, Public Safety Officer. Ricardo is a current student at COD and is looking forward to graduating with his associate's degree in Administration of Justice. He has completed the Module 2 and 3 Basic Peace Officer Training from the Public Safety Academy. Welcome, Ricardo.
Welcome. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to welcome Scott Atkins, Interim Manager for Human Resources. Dr. Atkins began his career in education with church and community organizations. He has an extensive experience working with institutions that promote education and social services in inner-city, immigrant, and multicultural communities. His experience includes teaching math and science to 3rd through 7th grade students in Nashville, Tennessee. And Dr. Atkins earned his doctorate in educational leadership and professional practice, a master's degree in K through 6 education, and a bachelor's degree in Christian education. Dr. Atkins looks forward to developing relationships at COD to promote a positive working and learning environment. Welcome, Scott.
Welcome.
Next, I'd like to welcome Jason Felix, Human Resources Technician. Jason was born and raised in the Coachella Valley and is a COD graduate with a degree in communications and a minor in American Sign Language. Prior to joining College of the Desert, Jason worked in human resources in the retail sector. Welcome, Jason.
Welcome. Is that it?
I'd like to welcome next Andrew Stubblefield, locksmith. Andrew joins the maintenance and operations team as a locksmith and brings several years of commercial locksmith and access control experience. He recently returned to California after working in Idaho for a locksmith and a security company. Andrew looks forward to many years serving as the campus locksmith and seeks to exceed the expectations presented in keeping the college secure. Welcome, Andrew.
Why don't we move a little bit over, because I think we've got a few more coming here.
Next, I'd like to welcome Jose Rendon, groundskeeper. Jose is originally from Sinaloa, Mexico, and has been living in the U.S. for the past 4 years. Prior to joining College of the Desert, Jose worked at Shadow Ridge Golf Club as a groundskeeper. Welcome, Jose.
Okay.
Next, I'd like to welcome Michael Veliquet, Manager of Maintenance and Operations. Michael comes to COD from the Moreno Valley Unified School District with over 20 years of experience in maintenance and operations. While there, he worked in grounds, building maintenance, and ultimately oversaw one of the trade departments. Welcome, Michael. Next, I'd like to welcome Israel Rivera, Trio DSPNS Secretary. Israel earned his Associate of Arts in Business Administration from American Intercontinental University. He is proud to join the College of the Desert team. Israel looks forward to supporting students in the Trio DSPNS program to ensure they receive the resources they need to succeed. Welcome. Next, I'd like to welcome Paulina Rodriguez, Edge Outreach Specialist. Paulina was born and raised in the Coachella Valley. She is a first-generation college graduate. She earned her Bachelor of Science in Rehabilitation Services and a Master's of Science in Counseling from California State University, Los Angeles. Before moving back to the Coachella Valley, she worked with California Promise, a federally funded grant program that serves youth ages 14 to 16 receiving Social Security. Paulina enjoys helping individuals reach their full potential and serving in her community. Welcome.
Welcome.
And last, I'd like to welcome Alejandra Lopez, Educational Support Specialist. Alejandra grew up in Mecca. She earned a Bachelor of Arts in 2 majors, International Development and Geography from the University of Los Angeles, UCLA. Alejandra looks forward to pursuing her career working with databases and processes with a special focus on geographical information systems. Welcome.
That's wonderful. Do you have any comments? Please feel free to come to the mic and say something. Would you like to?
I'd just like to take this time to thank everybody for the opportunity. It means a lot.
Okay. Thank you.
I also would like to take the Public Safety Department for hiring me on a board, and thank you all for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
I'd like to thank you all for this opportunity, and would like to see you all on a daily basis. And would like to also thank Tim Nakamura, and thank you so much.
Okay.
Same here. Thanks for the opportunity. Just really glad to be here. Please be patient with me getting used to the time schedules. Things should go pretty smoothly. Just hope that basically I keep things going smoothly. Thanks.
Any comments? No?
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm glad to be here. Thanks.
I'd just like to say I'm happy to be here so far. This is just the end of my 3rd week, and everybody's just, I can't believe how well you guys get along, and everybody seems happy. Now, I don't know if you're trying to fool me, just trying to sucker me in, but so far I really love it here, and I look forward to it.
Thank you. Ladies?
I would also just like to say thank you, and I have been enjoying working with EDGE. We just finished our summer program yesterday with our EDGE celebration, and it was a huge success. And I am really excited to be working for College of the Desert. I started here as a student, and I transferred to Cal State LA, so I definitely owe all my success to this institution. So I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.
Hi. I just want to say I'm thankful for this position. It lies really deep with my interest, and not many people like data, but I love data, and I love the people that I'm working with now, and thankful for the previous opportunities, and looking forward to working with everyone.
Thank you. Gentleman in the back? You're not going to get out of it.
Well, like the gentleman said earlier, I have a slight accent, so you might not be able to understand me. I am from the South, and I'd like to especially thank the HR department here at the College of the Desert for making me feel very welcome. They're a very dedicated and diligent team, and I've come to know several of you already, and I hope to get to know all of you better, and thank you for the opportunity. I think it's great to work here.
Thank you.
I want to thank you all. It's been an honor working here, especially with Trio DSPS and with ACES. It's a family. I've only been working here for 3 weeks, and it's really nice getting to see Pledge on my first week here. And as time transcends, hopefully I can still be here and see it get even better. I appreciate my director, Tula Moran, and the coordinator for ACES, Adele Bynum, for making me feel really welcome. HR for doing a great job hiring me and feeling comfortable, because I was really nervous. If any concerns, I'm at Trios DSPS, and I'll be there. And looking forward to working with all of y'all.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And last but not least.
Oh, nice.
Well, as you know, being in human resources, I get to know a lot of you, and let the record show that you guys are all awesome. I've really enjoyed working with you guys, and it's awesome to be a permanent part of the family now. So thank you so much, and thank you also because a lot of you have become mentors to me. So I appreciate those opportunities in working in unity with you. So thank you.
Oh, nice. Thank you. We do have a photo opportunity here, so if you folks, this is almost a dozen of you, come on back this way. And James will in charge of taking the photos. You did such a great job organizing yourselves. Let's see how you do. Short people in front, if need be. And
There we go.
There we go.
everybody in?
There we go.
Thanks, everybody. All right, let's smile. Cheese. And say COD.
COD.
All right, one more. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great. Thank you all. Welcome. Okay. Well, that was exciting. Almost a dozen new people. That's great. Okay. We now move on to item number 8, which is approval of minutes. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions to the regular meeting minutes of July 20th, 2017? Seeing none, the minutes stand approved. Julia, good job.
Julia, I don't know how you keep up.
We now move on to item number 9, which is reports, and we start off with ASCOD.
Hello, Madam Chair. I will be giving the ASCOD report for
Okay.
this month. This week has been very busy, especially for me. We went on the ASCOD retreat, also considered a student ambassador retreat also. And I can say that I had a wonderful time. We were able to build, as an ASCOD or associated students, we're able to build a relationship together, get to know each other, how to build trust. And I think that's the most important part of being associated students, is to build that trust and be able to work together. And I remember one of the, I think Monday, Tuesday, I always think it's the weekend, sorry, it was like all this weekend, but it was Monday through Wednesday. On Tuesday, we were able to do a rope climb course, and we were able to scale a 100-foot tree. And yeah, it was great. It was safe. I promise, it was safe. Yeah, it was safe. It was completely, and it was mostly to build courage, to see how far we could reach our limits and set ourselves to a goal and pass that goal. And I thought it was very beneficial, and I also did climb that 100-foot tree. So, but I remember at the end, Joseph, he gave us all this student leadership survival kit, and I'm just gonna read what it said on the card, because it impacted me the most. And everything that it said here, he put like these items in here. So let me read it off. It says, seeds to sow the seeds of wisdom, and he put seeds in there. Any sponge to soak up knowledge, and he put a sponge. A rubber band to remind you to be flexible. A paper clip to hold things together. An eraser because no mistake or misunderstanding is permanent. Smarties to remind you of your intellect. A notepad to keep the communication flowing. A penny so you'll never be penniless, because in college you will be. Pom-poms to remind you to always be a cheerleader and catch the spirit. A pencil to write down your great ideas. A Band-Aid to heal problems and hard feelings. Gloves for when you need an extra pair of hands. A crayon to inspire you to go out and color the world. Stars to remind you what you're reaching for, and a balloon to help you get there. So I just wanted to thank everybody who was able to let us go and have this opportunity. I think this year, with Joseph in charge, that he will make student life a place where all students are going to feel like welcomed, and they're going to be proud to be a road runner, and they're going to always run to be a part of the next event and fundraiser, and they're going to be excited. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. CSEA, Chapter President Lado Jimenez. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Board of Trustees, administration, faculty, staff, students, and esteemed guests. Earlier today, classified bargaining unit members attended the board meeting to express concern and to support CSA's position in negotiations. CSA leadership and our members are very concerned. With only a few days' notice, on Wednesday evening, employees and retirees eligible for health benefits received notification of open enrollment, which will be August 21st through August 30th. Attachments detail the same plans offered last year through CISC and detailing the increased premium costs. The Kaiser plan increased $100, an increase of 8.3%. The Blue Shield plans increased about 6%, but the HMO plan increase of $85. PPO plan increases ranged from $73 to $89, and this is a month, not per year, but per month. This is compared to the regional increase for CBT of only 4%. With lower premiums for similar plans and smaller percentage increases, we are disheartened not to have our own plans through CBT. A school district in Temecula reports that classified staff on CBT received a 4% increase, while teachers and administrators still on CISC in that district received the 6% increase. Why? This is the question that everyone is asking. Why are we in the same place that we were 1 year ago? If the district insists that there is not enough money in the budget to make the $200 permanent, why would the district, as a good fiduciary, not invite CBT to discuss the district's concerns, or even to present to this board? Why instead would the district insist on and develop an RFP with criteria that would, by its own nature, exclude consideration of CBT? When committee members requested CBT to present to the committee, why would the district deny CBT from presenting to even the Health and Welfare Committee? Speaking of the Health and Welfare Committee, why would the chair of the committee cancel committee meetings that the majority of the members had requested, and when the faculty were willing to attend even in early summer? The Health and Welfare Committee is created by our collective bargaining agreements to appropriately represent employees eligible for health benefits, including 2 classified staff, 2 full-time faculty, 1 confidential supervisory, and 1 management representative. Why would the president instead choose to seek the recommendation on health and welfare benefits from CPC, a shared governance body that has only 2 classified representatives and is not prepared to make informed decisions with only a brief discussion and no documentation? We were asked to vote at CPC on the selection of health and welfare plans and how to proceed for the first time in the history of College of the Desert. The district proposes a $100 per month increase to health and welfare district contributions. This may cover the CISC premium increases. However, we remain in the same position we found ourselves in last year at this time. We are not asking for an increase beyond the $200 that we currently have, despite the premium increase. We are simply asking to make the $200 permanent for all of us. We requested information from the district regarding the cost of district increasing their proposal from their proposal of a permanent 100 to a permanent 200. The answer, the cost of the general fund, would be about $154,000 for the classified bargaining unit. This is for the general fund. The question is, since this has already been part of the budget for the last 11 months of this benefit plan year, how will the money be spent instead? Our dedicated employees who are serving our students will instead need to find $100 more a month in their own budget to pay for their health benefits if we were to accept the district's proposal. CSEA has compromised from our initial proposal of $250 a month and has proposed a permanent increase of the $200. The district has remained firm in unchanging in the proposal of $100. Because of the many delays and no compromise, we will not have a tentative agreement in time for this open enrollment. This means that even members on the Kaiser plan will need to pay $60 a month. For the HMO plan, $249 a month. For the best 100% plan, $358 a month. The lesser 100% plan, $257 a month. The 90% plan, $180 a month. And the 80% plan, $71 a month. These are if all the Delta dental plans are selected. The CSEA proposal reduces these costs to the Kaiser plan, the 90% plan, and the 80% plan so that these fall under the district contribution and therefore result in no payroll costs. The HMO cost reduces to a manageable $49 a month. The best 100% plan, $158. The lesser 100% plan, $57. Considering that the district is firm in its negotiating position of only increasing compensation by COLA of 1.54% and nothing more, our employees cannot afford to lose the $200 and absorb the 6% premium increase. Thank you.
Thank you, Lotto. CODA? Adjunct Association? I didn't see you there, sir. Good to see you.
I was hiding.
Well, again, good morning. For the first time this year, CODA adjuncts operated the student kiosk for the 8-week summer intersession. While the success of the student-owned and operated business was less than prior semesters, the dedicated kiosk students and supervisors did serve the limited enrollment of summer intersession students. In addition to the valuable experience that the students received, the kiosk revenue averaged at about $1,000 a week, at a time when students tend to arrive for a single class, go straight to the classrooms, and then straight home. This is unlike the normal crowds of the fall and spring semester when students are on campus for longer periods of time and multiple classes. Considering all this and the extreme heat in the daytime during the summer, we think that the students did quite a job, and we want to congratulate them on that. As usual, we will have a full day of flex activities for adjuncts. We will again be offering sessions on shared governance, adjunct essentials, and writing self-evaluations, plus our usual lunch and adjunct general membership meeting. And we will also host coffee and donuts every morning of flex, and we invite all of you to attend if you can. Contract negotiations are still ongoing, and we have either reached tentative agreements or come to mutual understandings on all but the two key issues of pay and health benefits. These remain difficult challenges as the district and the bargaining unit are miles apart on what is when considered to be, in my mind, fairly simple concept, equal pay for equal work. In order to resolve this difference, a task force has been created with representatives from both sides to research and enumerate the specific job responsibilities of both the full-time and part-time faculty to determine what a fair parity rate should be. As to healthcare benefits, we are still at a loss to understand the district's rationale behind providing this benefit to the one highly compensated faculty group, but not the other undercompensated faculty group, especially since our latest proposal was an extremely modest request with a relatively small financial impact to the district. We hope we can soon reach agreement on these critical issues, and that will allow us to focus on our reason for being here, which is providing the best education we can for our students. And we hope everyone has a very successful semester. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Faculty Association, Denise Diamond?
Thank you, Julia. Good morning. The
Good morning.
Faculty Association, like all areas of campus, is preparing for the new academic year. In fall of 2017, by our most recent count, the full-time faculty will be the largest yet. We will number 136. We are welcoming 12 new tenure track faculty and 5 temporary full-time. for the fall semester. Of these 17 new hires, 7 are in science, which is a COD first, as well as 3 more in math. This is
great.
Wow. Of course, this level of growth has many challenges and opportunities. The Faculty Association has prepared welcome packets and ongoing outreach activities to welcome and support our new colleagues. We are also reaching out to support all our unit members as we fulfill our ever-increasing duties, whether that is to sit on a tenure review committee, and there will be more than in the history of COD going on this fall, or accreditation committees. There is much work to be done. But it's not just about work. This semester, we will be inviting the district to join the faculty for some fun team-building activities. Not climbing a tree, okay? I look forward to sharing with you more details about this in the future. Bargaining. The contract for the full-time faculty has been extended as it expired at the end of June. Bargaining for last year resumes in September. We have given the district 4 dates in September, and we hope that they will join us. We will continue with articles such as evaluation, ESL non-credit, and of course, salary and benefits. Health and welfare benefits. Yesterday, an email was sent about open enrollment, and we know that the $200 enhanced benefit ends, and we know that the cost of 6 plans has increased. We did not select plans because the Health and Welfare Committee meetings in May, June, July, and August were all canceled. By default, we will have the same plans at increased cost, with absolutely no opportunity for individuals nor for the district to experience any cost savings. This is very hard to understand. For the 3rd year in a row, using myself as a personal example, I have absolutely no idea about my health benefits at College of the Desert. This is remarkably frustrating and absolutely unnecessary for a 20-year employee like myself. Health benefits are important to all faculty, which of course includes adjuncts, and our classified staff. When will we have a respectful, progressive dialogue on this important topic? We are a community interdependent on each other. Faculty respects the support of classified staff and adjunct faculty, without whom the doors of COD would not be open. Faculty respects the unique position of deans, who work hard to support faculty and decisions made by the district. For many years, many people like myself advocated for the internal hiring of administrators. Fall 2017 is historic. The majority of the deans at College of the Desert are former faculty and, in fact, former faculty experienced in leadership roles. What a unique opportunity we have for enhancing communication, transparency, and efficiency. We are a community interdependent on each other. Faculty respects the work of College of the Desert administrators. For many years, we were without a full executive cabinet. We understand the difference a team effort makes to the smooth running of all areas of campus life. Faculty respect the role of the Board of Trustees, who are elected from the very communities we live in across the Coachella Valley. We know you hear a diversity of needs and viewpoints. It takes all of our cooperative efforts to sustain our growth, our values, and our mission. It is my deep hope 20 years later that with this new academic year, we will have significant improvements in the areas of collective bargaining and contract procedures.
Thank you, Denise. Academic Senate, Carl Farmer, is your representative today? No? Okay, so there's no one filling in, okay. And the College of the Desert Foundation, Peter is not here and there's no report, okay. We now move on to the governing board and we will start off with our student trustee Delgado.
Hello, everyone. As I said before, this whole week and the past week has been very busy. I went to a student trustee retreat also this last weekend, and in Long Beach, and I can say I learned a lot. They gave me a booklet on how to be an effective student trustee, and I remember when I first came here, I said that I would love to be not a perfect one, but an effective one. And so I related with a lot of the student trustees and talked about different programs, see what they did, and I could say now that I'm extremely proud and I'm honored to be a part of COD's board, and I could see that we are the leaders in the community, and that we should be an example to the rest of the community colleges. And later than that, I was also able to go to the ASCOT retreat, and we did also have team building exercises, and we build that trust together and to see how we could accomplish greater things than what we could accomplish on our own. And I think that's very important, and that should be a priority in ASCOT, and try to get students involved and work together. That way we can make COD a place where everybody would come to in this community. I was also able to go yesterday to the EDGE celebration and to see many students who are part of Pledge, and who, I talked to them personally, and most of them told me that they have, they did better on their tests, or they did evenly, so they knew where they stood. And, I could say that I'm extremely proud that we are implementing the Pledge program, for students that can have a free year of college, and are able to have the same opportunity to succeed and to climb up the ladder. And I think we should exactly. And I think that we should keep implementing that, and hopefully next year we'll be able to have more students be able to partake in the Pledge program and really set an example to everybody that it is possible to succeed and to have a student be able to go to college for free. Thank you.
We're very fortunate to have generous donors.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Student Trustee Delgado. Well said. Trustee Sanchez Fulton?
So I just want to concur. I think we are a model for California with our college-free tuition here in the Coachella Valley. We're very fortunate to have this, and I want to again thank the donors and the community here in the Coachella Valley, because this wouldn't be possible if we didn't have that available for us. So I just publicly want to thank on the whole community of the Coachella Valley for pushing this, and also the wonderful program that we're all proud of, all the family of COD, our food pantry program, and all the wonderful, I call wraparound services that we here at the serve the Coachella Valley. We are the beacon, I believe, the College of the Desert, to do these wonderful programs so needed in our valley. And I want to kind of just touch upon what you said today, this interdependence with one another. Yes, we are interdependent on each other, and I hear you. So as we come and prepare for the fall semester, and as a former teacher of COD, I again welcome everyone, the faculty, the staff, for the fall semester, and the students, and our new students, and a big shout out to all these wonderful students coming out of our high school. I've been meeting a lot of all these high school, they're very excited. You guys, we did free community college for the class of 2017. This is a wonder. We should just applaud ourselves. We did it here in the Coachella Valley. And I mean, we have to now set forth, hopefully we could do 2 years, hopefully. But we're also, the College of the Desert, great in leading programs, curriculum, that are going to energize their career paths. So I just kind of want to give a shout out to our COD2careers.com. And what does that do? I just want to thank the whole team that have put together out in the community, because I've been hearing it out in the community about all our different programs. People are hearing about our VOC programs, about our green programs. So a shout out to everyone putting that takes work. And a lot of people, that's, takes a lot of work on that. So going back, welcome back, Roadrunners. And just kind of want to go back and congrats to Marquise King on signing for MTSU, one of our football athletics programs. So that was great to hear. And just kind of busy summer still. Just attended the legislative update of the Congressman Ruiz here in the Coachella Valley. Also attended the Desert Hot Springs RDA Oversight Committee as well. And something very, very special was attending our Riverside County, what we call the topping off ceremony for the detention center. I don't know if I said that correctly. Supervisor John Benoit, that was his dream. And it was wonderful to see all our community leaders and our elected officials and everyone involved for putting that center and creating jobs. I think they're going to be hiring a lot of people in that field. So we're very excited. COD also, for this fall semester, are doing the most innovative programs I have seen ever in the history of College of the Desert. Introduction to Film at the Camelot Theater. What awesome program to have that here. Just more class offerings for our students. So needed. So they follow the path and they're not stopped. I think that's something very, very special. So I just kind of want to finish a quote in this time that we're at, if I may, and we just have to, and it starts like this, just would love to share this and end with this quote, if I may. If I'm forgive them anyway, be kind anyway, succeed anyway, be honest and sincere anyway, create anyway, be happy anyway, do good anyway, and give your best anyway. It was never between you and them anyway. Mother Teresa. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Yant?
Thank you. I'll be brief today, as August has been a quiet month, as it usually is, hopefully, in preparation for September, which is the year's exciting month for anyone in education. And welcome back to faculty and students alike for what will be an exciting year. But for me, August focused on libraries. I've been meeting with the Literary Society of the Desert to try to increase their support of libraries and include College of the Desert in their support of libraries. And with the Palm Springs Public Library Foundation in terms of a long-term master plan of serving the library and education needs of the city of Palm Springs. And that plan is just beginning and will continue for the next few months. So that's all for today.
Very good. Okay, Trustee Stefan?
Last month, I reported on having attended the NEARA, and when I left there, because my suitcases were overwhelmed, I shipped some things home, and I had to go through those things and refresh my memory on what I had brought home, or sent home. One of the things that I sent home was a Robert Rules of Order cheat sheet, and I'm going to be giving this to Dr. Neary, because this is a really great cheat sheet. It's got things that we can do, ways to say it, the procedure, interrupting the speaker or not interrupting the speaker, if a second's needed, debates. But it's really great. I can't pass it out to you because on the other side it has NEA election material. So we'll get it copied, we'll get it so that we can have it in our binders, and then we all have a little cheat sheet, and we can be on top of things a little bit better. Another thing that I shipped home to myself, because I thought, man, I really want that for my classroom. And the more I looked at it, the more I thought, well, this is a great thing we could use out of college. And I've already shown it to Dr. Neary. And we're going to try to get some more of these, either from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. And what they are is they take the different occupations by categories. And I'll try to hold one up here and show you. What it does is it shows you the fastest growing business. This one is business and financial occupations. And so it shows the fastest growing businesses, the most new jobs among businesses, additional business and financial occupations. So it's a great little chart, and I'm also going to be giving these to Dr. Neary, and hopefully we'll all get copies of this in some format, and I will get the little posters back to put up in my classroom. So, and we can, I guess, send off if they will probably send us more, but I didn't grab more because it would have been more shipping to send. I had 3 boxes of stuff I had to unload. And today I just wanted to welcome everybody back to the school year. I've already been into my classroom. I start next Wednesday with my required days back, and next Friday we start teaching. And I know that I went in, I picked up my keys, I started setting up my classroom, and the first thing that popped into my head is, I got to get my stuff in order, I got to get my stuff in order. And I've had to do a lot of driving back and forth to San Diego to take care of my family's property down there the last couple of weeks. And while I drive, I think. And I started thinking that, you know, a lot of times when the school year starts, we're so gung-ho about what we're doing, we forget about the other people in the world. And I know that we always, as a board, thank everyone here, our classified, our faculty, our administrators, everybody involved with the college, and our students even, for all the hard work that they've done and for their dedication, and for, you know, wish them luck for the new school year. But in a way, once they go off in their little cubicles, everybody's on their own in their own little world. And I started thinking that a lot of times we forget that people sometimes listen to what we say and they take it as that's the way it is. They forget that there's other viewpoints. And I started remembering something that my uncle in Canada had told me when I was a little kid. He had been rejected for World War II in the Army in Canada because he was colorblind. And when the American base set up near where he lived, he was out at a pub one night having a beer with some officers from the Army base, American officers. And they had some pictures, black and white photos, aerial shots of things. And they were saying, you know, oh, this is a mountain and these are trees on the mountain or bushes and stuff. And we can't see anybody or any animals in that. And they're just black and white pictures. You know, everything looks black, white, and gray. And he said, well, let me see that. And he looked at it. And because he was colorblind and he doesn't see things in color anyhow, I didn't differentiate green and red kind of colors. To him, all trees were already gray. But he could identify the types of trees, and he could see little animals down on the ground. So during World War II, he was employed by the American Army in Canada, and he served in the American Army. And when the war ended, they gave him a nice little thing, but they couldn't give him any substantial thing beyond that. So they appealed to the Canadian government, who had rejected him because he was lacking, he was colorblind and could not get in, because he was so valuable to them, being able to look at a black and white photo and see things on the ground that they would have missed. He could actually tell if somebody was in camouflage on the ground from a black and white photo. And he had helped the American government so much that the Canadians had to honor him. And I thought, well, that's really interesting, because a lot of times we're blinded by what it hits us in the face. The Canadian government was hit in the face with the fact he's colorblind, reject him. And yet he had so much to offer. So we need to think of that as we start the school year, and remember that when we hear things, when we look at things, sometimes there's another side to things that we might not be looking at. And last night when I returned home late last night, I looked at the mail real quick, and there was an NEA Today, and I know my CTA fellow people out there may have looked at it and may not have looked at it. They were talking about the immigration and the deportation of many of our students' families. And that students have to make a decision. And there was a really great article in there. I wanted to bring it with me, and I forgot it, but I will forward it on to Dr. Neary. And I don't know if, I don't think you brought your copy. It just came in the mail. Probably you didn't. I don't even know if you got it yet. But it was a great article, and I thought this is really wonderful because it taught us to listen and engage our students, because what they're experiencing is maybe their parents were deported and they're still here, and they don't know whether they should be with their parents or whether they should stay here and try to get that education that their parents came to this country for. And it's a very, very tough decision. We can't make that for the student, but we can guide them through their thought process. And it's something that we are going to all have to engage in this year. I know the majority of my students last year were coming to me at the end of the school year and saying that there were certain places they could not shop because their parents would be picked up. And because I hadn't experienced that, or I hadn't seen it, you know, they were going in hidden cars to pick them up. They weren't, you know, just labeled Border Patrol like I see when I, you know, cross the Border Patrol areas. These were, you know, camouflage things. And it's out there, it's unmarked, and but it's happening, and it is in our society, and it is in our world, and it is here. So we have to be cognizant of that, and we might have to engage our students somewhat and offer them our assistance. We can listen, we can guide, we can engage them in the thought process so that they can make an educated decision and not just be left out there in the dark. And so I will be sharing that article. It was very, very short and just a few ideas in it, but I wanted everybody to be aware that this is the reality of the world we live. This is the reality of the world of our students. And we can go in our classroom, we can do the very best job we can, but we have to remember what the other individuals are going through, and we can't just look at the surface like the Canadian government did to my uncle. So, thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Stefan. Vice Chair Broughton, instead of what pearls of wisdom, what dates of wisdom do you have for us today?
I just brought a little sample of why I'm always late and usually tired during the months, the end of July through the middle of September. I'm a farmer, I'm a Barhe date farmer, and these are Barhe dates. I brought some samples over there. They are the fresh, you don't have to hold that up, it's pretty heavy, but thank you so much.
It is.
They're not cloyingly sweet as medjool are. We're all used to medjool as a dessert, and these are more like a fresh fruit. So remember, there's a seed inside, so either bite gently or cut it. I like it cut fresh and in pieces in a salad. It's sold. This is ripe. You're not waiting for it to ripen. The ones that are slightly green should ripen. They still have that bitter aftertaste of an unripe fruit. The ones that are yellow are very sweet, kind of crunchy like an apple or a pear. And they're sold mostly to Middle Eastern folks, or folks of Middle Eastern descent, folks from South Africa, Kenya, areas that the British Empire used Goan labor to build railroads and things. They also took their Barhe dates. So it's actually quite a large population, but for most of us, we had no clue there were yellow dates, let alone not even sweet yellow dates. The rest of us that didn't grow up eating these, let them ripen to the sort of soft stage, stick them in the freezer. When you're really hungry for a healthy snack, then you take one or two out and eat it when it's still in that half-frozen state, because then it's not gooey, but it is sweet and kind of crunchy. So that's my lecture on dates today for American farmers provide safe and healthy products for you to eat, and that food safety is one of our things. And I, for one, am always appreciative of farm labor. Whenever I work with youngsters whose parents tell me, oh, my parents just work in agriculture, I always ask what they do, And usually they have a job, these young folks' parents have a job that they deem unimportant, but it's something like being the irrigator, like how important can you be in the world? Or maybe your specialty is thinning grapes. I mean, these may appear to be unskilled labor, but you go out there and make a living doing it. It's highly skilled, so I appreciate that help. And I can tell you that I work alongside folks every day that pack better than I do, way better than I do. They teach me a lot. On to COD news. I'm very excited about what's happening at the Mecca Thermal campus. I'm very excited about what's happening in the East Valley. We had a wonderful robotics camp this year throughout our district, from the Mecca Thermal to Desert Hot Springs. Mecca Thermal and Desert Hot Springs had the lower attendance, but probably the most important attendance, because that was exposure to students that wouldn't have had those opportunities. The numbers from PACE and the numbers from Indio, those sessions pretty much were overflowing. So I'm hoping we can get the word out a little better in our communities next year and have even more participation. But every student we reach is at least one door that's been opened. So I thank everyone for hanging in there with us and helping provide those opportunities. EDGE was at Mecca this year. EDGE was at Indio. They were well attended. They were very exciting. We have more students that are ready for our college year. Finally, I'm so happy we've got chemistry and biology coming to the Mecca Thermal campus. Yay! Okay. So the classes are full. It is a case of build it, they'll come. Now we're off. Now we've no longer said we're sorry to those folks down in the East Valley, but you're not really qualified for science, and we'll just let you do something else. We are letting students actually choose their own course and providing the opportunities. That was not possible without administration and faculty working together to make that educational master plan work. Thank you so much. Soon we're going to have the telescope working, and that's going to be exciting for the entire district. So the other important thing, and then I'll end, is that we are expanding, we the college are expanding our services to those East Valley students. Our DSPS offerings are expanded to both Mecca and Indio, and we're going to have more psychological counseling services at the Mecca Indio. So we are reaching out and providing student services. We get stronger every term. For those students, I thank you again, the administration and the faculty, for working together and providing opportunities for those students, and those campuses becoming fully supported for students. That's very important. Thank you so much for all that hard work.
Is that it? Okay. My report is going to be very brief. I am on the oversight committee for the cities of Palm Desert and Rancho Mirage, and did attend both of those meetings, and there was no reportable action from those meetings. And also want to say we have a new semester coming up and wish everyone good luck. Thank you for all your hard work. I look forward to attending some of the events with Flex Week. I usually join David for a cup of coffee with the adjuncts and get myself in there to say hello. So look forward to that. And also just want to say thank you again for all the hard work that the accreditation team has done over the last several months in preparation for our visit coming up in October. Excellent job, everyone who has taken the time to do that. So good work. That concludes my report. Dr. Neri, do you have any report?
On behalf of Dr. Kinnaman, I just wanted to share that the Board of Trustees received the 2017 American College President Study for reading and some best practices, and that was it.
And what is that report about? That, if you could talk a little bit more, do you?
I don't have an experience being a president, and even though I have a lot of research background.
Dr. Ralston, do you have any?
I have read this in the past. It's a report that's derived out of a lengthy survey of
Okay.
presidents across colleges and universities. And so I haven't yet read this one, but I bet you will love it.
Okay. Thank you.
Based on my previous experience.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, okay.
Is that okay?
Okay.
I just want to thank the staff of the College of the Desert for expanding and keeping our ESL courses out in Desert Hot Springs campus. So I just want to be on record that continuing to help the most vulnerable population that we serve is very important. Thank you so much for providing that for Desert Hot Springs.
We now move on to agenda item number 10, which is the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda will be considered for approval by a single vote without discussion. Any board member may request that an item be pulled from the consent agenda to be discussed and considered separately in the action agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
You do.
Okay,
Second.
and there's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
It's tempting just to give Dr. Neary a stomachache.
Okay. I didn't say that, she did. Okay, there's being no further discussion. Student trustee Delgado, your vote, please.
Aye.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, the motion is carried unanimously. We'll now move on to the action agenda, which is agenda item number 11. Okay, let me get over there.
I know. It's going to be so good when we have board docs.
Uh-huh.
We can click on that button.
Okay, we have
First reading.
the 2018 Board of Trustees meeting dates is the first item. And do I have a motion to approve the first reading of the 2018 Board of Trustee meeting dates as presented?
So move.
Second.
Second, okay. Is there any discussion? I know we had a couple of changes on that, Vice Chair Broughton.
Yes, we did. Thank you.
Okay.
I just want to clarify that this is a first reading, and it's our opportunity to officially review and then bring back any changes, preferably to send them to Julia during the month, but next month will be our official acceptance of these dates. And thank you for being flexible about February for me.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
We're anticipating all of them on this campus, correct?
No, actually, the one in March of 2018, we are looking for a location,
Okay.
which potentially may be Palm Springs
So
area.
we should mark in our minds the March date, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
And
I wasn't
although-
sure, I wasn't sure what location to be determined.
Yeah.
And those off-campus, off-main campus, meetings are not always at the 9:30. When we schedule them
Right.
this way, we try to consider them as a 9:30 meeting, but sometimes it's more realistic to have it a slightly different time. What we're trying to go for, since it's a Friday, for it not to be a late Friday meeting, but to be a mid-Friday meeting.
Good.
That was easier on staff. But also, we need to be available to community members. So sometimes it's nicer to meet a little later and run a little later in the afternoon.
I concur. For the people who work and having our, hello?
Did we die? Did you die?
Yeah, so. Did I press the button? Oops. So I concur because we are part of the community and people work, and it would be nice to have our community members attend that.
Trustee Stefan, did you have a comment?
Yes, I did. I wanted to thank whoever prepared this because they put in all of the conferences that we may be attending. so that we made sure there was no conflict of interest. In the past, we've approved something and then, oh, wow, that's on at that time, and somebody might want to go to that, so then we change a date or something. So this really does help, especially if someone did want to attend something. It helps them plan their year a little bit better.
Great
Thank
job,
you.
Julia.
Yeah, I think we know who that is.
Yeah.
Once mentioned it.
Trustee Yant, we're going to be looking for a location in March, for the March 2018 in the Palm Springs area, so perhaps you could
It's not-
put your thinking cap on and,
It's not going to be difficult.
okay. And I think there was also some discussion about a retreat
A
sometime in
retreat.
October.
Yeah.
So you're going to be working on that too,
Yeah.
Julia? Okay, and polling the board? Okay. Is there any further discussion on this?
Oh, point of information.
Student trustee?
For the trustee retreat, is the student trustee gonna be able to go, or is that only for serving board members?
Carlos,
Or-
would you have the answer to that, or no?
Public meeting.
It's a public meeting.
It's a
It's a
public
public
meeting.
meeting.
It's,
Okay.
yeah, it's meeting.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Is there any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, student trustee Delgado, your vote, please.
Aye.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The motion is carried unanimously. We now move on to, let's see here, administrative services. And to resolution number 081817-1, the authorization to utilize the University of California State University contracts. Do I say that fast?
You did really well on that.
That was a good one.
You have a motion?
Do I have a motion?
You do.
To approve
And a
resolution? Okay, and there's a second. Okay, there's a motion second on the floor. Is there any discussion?
Anything that appears to be cost saving is certainly worth considering.
Is there any contact? John, would you like to say any comment?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. This is actually something that's kind of exciting, is public contracting code requires that we go out to bid for anything that we acquire over a certain price. Administratively, it's very burdensome, and since we're kind of a small fish in a big pond, we don't always get the best deals. And what this allows us to do is it really pushes for us to leverage with the UC and the Cal States to be able to save by leveraging and being part of that big pool, so that we're part of a much bigger fish. And we've already got a couple of contracts that have come along where we're going to see significant cost savings by being able to do this. And so this resolution is what's required for our college to be able to take advantage of that.
I know it's particularly effective in the online databases. That's
Yes.
where big savings come.
Very good. Is there any other, thank you, John. Is there any other comments, discussion? Okay. Seeing none, this is a roll call vote. Dr. Neary?
Student trustee Delgado.
Aye.
Trustee Sanchez Fulton.
Aye.
Trustee Yant.
Aye.
Trustee Stefan.
Aye.
Trustee Broughton.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
The motion.
Is carried unanimously. Okay. Okay, we move on to item number 2, which is rescinding the notice of intent to award contracts and rejection of bids for the Palm Springs Modular Campus Project. Do I have a motion to approve the rescinding notice of intent to awards contracts and rejection of bids for the Palm Springs Modular Campus Project as presented?
So moved.
Second. Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on this? Need for
I see
clarification?
Trustee Broughton staring me down, so. Yeah, this is just a procedural thing that as we had the delays and are unable to go forward at the property that we were originally intending, this releases the contractors from the bids that were released and allows them to release their bonds and things like that. So we'll be bringing it back as we go into the new property potentially, or however we move forward.
Just so community understands, this is not stepping back from our long-term plans. This is just this one particular.
Absolutely. It's just kind of a way to be able to move those timelines around a little bit. Yeah.
And releases the contractors from their promises.
Yes.
So they can rebid and give us a more accurate a more accurate vehicle of what those plans actually work out to be.
Absolutely.
More appropriate.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, student trustee Delgado, your vote, please.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried unanimously. We are moving right along here. We now move on to agenda item number 12, the information portion of the agenda. And we have item A1, which is the educational master plan. Dr. Neary?
So the board has been provided with a branded copy of the educational master plan, but for this item, I'd like to defer to Dr. Ralston, Vice President of Student Learning.
So for the last year, you have been hearing about the College of the Desert's Educational Master Plan 2017-2022. And I would like to thank Pam Hunter and the folks that she worked with who have produced an incredibly attractive version of a very brilliant plan that all of us helped and contributed to over the last year. I'm excited about this in part because it's starting to show how all of our planning documents align. So Dr. Neary, if you'd show our accreditation self-study. So visually, we're starting to connect things so that we can kind of make a symbolic representation of our integratedness. And this year, as we move forward to implement the Educational Master Plan, integrated planning will be front and center on that work for us. So the other piece that Pam Hunter was able to produce for us is a one sheet, front and back, that isolates our goals, and then on the back, a little more detailed delineation of what the objectives are that are going to help move the college forward in achieving this work. So we're very excited about it. Great for trustee members maybe to slide into binders so that you can kind of keep track with us as we move forward. We'll be implementing strategies to map educational master planning, and we've already mapped it back to the strategic master plan, but as we move forward in any of our prioritization, planning, resource allocation, we'll be connecting it back to goals. So we'll get to a point mid-year where we start saying things like, oh, that totally sounds like a 2.2 objective, and let's go ahead and move that forward so we can be thinking about our partnership work. And so this will be a handy guide for us to help do that.
Very good.
I just want to make sure, oops, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Will copies of this be placed in public libraries?
Yes, I have 100 copies of the longer form. We'll have a searchable online, really easy version that'll be on our website. And then the many thousands of copies of the one sheet will be available all over the place. So we're doing as much as we can to make sure people are connected.
Good, thank you.
I just want to acknowledge as well, not only us here at the college, but the community of the Coachella Valley that attended the town halls, that gave their voice.
Absolutely.
That was very critical since we still are a community college. I just want to shout out to all the community of the Coachella Valley that gave their input and turned in all those surveys. Thank you.
Any other comments? Is local government also going to be receiving a copy?
I hadn't planned on handing a hard copy to them, but I think that's a good point. We can look into doing that.
Like the cities of Palm
Yep.
Desert, who, as you know, we have a general
Right.
plan and they're.
I thought one of the things we might do is write back to all the people who came and contributed to us a letter that had a hot link to our website that has the educational master plan. And then if you think that hard copy versions are pieces that would be more useful for them, I could take that under.
Perhaps to our county supervisor.
I think our county supervisor would like one.
Right.
Okay, and also the foundation, our foundation board, will they?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that was already on the list, so I missed the county supervisor.
Okay. Excellent. Any other comments?
Very attractive.
Didn't they do
This is a phenomenal.
such a nice job? We're really excited about it. And I think the tabbing is a really nice way to manage a document like this. You can get to where you need to go. Practical, useful. You all get mentioned on the back.
Oh, that's good.
Isn't that nice?
In the back. In the back.
Great job, Pam.
In the back of the bus.
Any other comments? We have no study session today, so let's move on to future agenda items. And let's see, who do we start with?
Okay.
Our
thank
student
you, Marge.
trustee?
Yes, I'd actually like, as an information item, possible, I'd like to know how many students were part of the pledge program or enrolled, how they did on their tests, basically, how many were in the different areas, ethnicities, I'd like to know all that information if possible.
Great. We will be having a presentation of pledge at the ACT conference in Las Vegas. So perhaps after that conference, we could do a study session or an update on pledge. It's a great
That'd be
idea.
great. Thank you.
Maybe divided out by zip codes.
Divided
By
out
zip
by
code?
zip codes?
Yeah, that'd be.
We've been working that way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Trustee Sanchez Fulton?
Yes, like last month I mentioned about getting an update. I just want to go back to, it was about the EDGE program. So we're going to get, I think you just answered that because I'm just kind of looking. Are we going to see the numbers of the robotics camp, our summer program? Camp learning, I just want to see some numbers from our local students. I mentioned that last month under future agenda items, so just kind of give an overview and how we did reaching out to our community here in the Coachella Valley, camp learning and I just kind of want to get some updates on that. Thank you.
Trustee Yan?
As we were talking about earlier, at some point, we need actually a detailed study session on the implication of the changes in basic skills, including financial implications. So that would be quite an extensive information session.
Okay.
But when you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have that down?
I think that might be a spring project.
Spring?
But while we work through, I think faculty going to need to get on campus, have that conversation, start doing the planning for some of those implications with CSU's changes about math and some of those pieces.
It will have financial applications.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It has many layers of implication.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we want to do the best job going forward that we can.
Yeah. So there's no need to rush that because the implications are so big.
Yep. Yep.
Trustee Stefan?
Nothing at this time.
Trustee Broughton?
No, I am very appreciative of the calendar we've been presented with the thoughts on the study sessions. I think and tied in with the conferences. I think it'll help us focus and have a better idea of things that are happening. It's important that we, as trustees, hear that so that we can better answer questions to the community. Usually saying, oh, you need to call or you need to contact this person at the college. So,
great.
Thank you.
For myself, perhaps an agenda item or a study session on the golf center. And accreditation. Continued
Yes,
updates.
Always accreditation update, you're right.
Okay, that concludes the future agenda items. We are going to go into closed session right now. And so we will recess into closed session and we will come back probably around 1:15 or 1:30. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so if anyone wants to try dates, I've never tried that. I have a whole bunch of. Excited about it. Later when we do it wrong, but it's okay.
Thank you. We have returned from closed session, and there is no reportable action taken that we can report. We have gone through future agenda items, and now we are to adjourn the meeting. And we have some words to say about our friend Al McCandless. It is with deep sadness that College of the Desert mourns the passing of longtime College of the Desert friend and former Congressman Al McCandless. The Board of Trustees would like to close today's meeting in his honor. Al served in the Marines during the Korean War and then joined his father in running McCandless Motors in Indio before entering politics, if anyone remembers that far back. He represented the Coachella Valley as a Riverside County Supervisor for 12 years, from 1970 to 1982. During that tenure, he served on the Riverside County Housing Authority and helped found Sunline Transit Agency. He then headed to Washington, D.C. for 12 years in Congress, where he was known for urging his colleagues to avoid running deficits. In retirement, Al McCandless remained involved in our community, volunteering with the Boys and Girls Club and serving on the College of the Desert's Bond Oversight Committee, something we are most grateful for. We are honored by the leadership, commitment, and support Al McCandless provided our community during his life, and he will be missed. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his loved ones and to his family. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you so much. Unless there is anything else, this meeting now stands adjourned at 1:17. Thank you so much. Have a great day.